Here we go then, moving on to our next. This one, a middleweight contest scheduled for 4 rounds, and Edgar Kemsky, the Slovak fighter who's rarely stopped, only once in his career, and that was about a decade or more ago. He's a right character, and it was an engaging stare-off between him and Brad Axe at the weigh-in.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the ring, Brad Axe!
I joined the military very young and I've travelled all around the world. I got into boxing through a friend, fighting quite a lot at school, and he said that I should go down to the boxing gym, so I did. And then from that very moment, fell in love with it. For me to be a boxer, it means a lot. It's a lifestyle and it's who I am. I have an elite mindset, and with regards to boxing, you have to have in your head that you're the best. And I know that I can be the best. I know I can box, and I know I've got what it takes to get to the top. I really am buzzing to be on top tier. It's a very big promotion. In boxing, I'm known for good head movement, being strong, come forward. I'll be able to show what I've got and what I'm bringing to the professional game with a win. Good luck, and I'll see you in there.
Well, what a night this is for 27-year-old Brad Axe, who started boxing at the Oval ABC once upon a time, joined the military in the RAF, he's travelled the world, he's boxed for them, he's won titles all across the place, and now he is boxing as a professional for the first time tonight. And he has loved every single minute of the build-up. He's a big ticket seller. He sold plenty of them. 5 VIP tables on his own. That's 50 or so people spending plenty of cash here tonight. That'll be music to the ears of promoter Johnny Clark, for starters. And now he's soaking up that atmosphere, cheered on by some of his colleagues, friends and family ringside here tonight. Good-looking kid with plenty of experience, a bit of swagger. Now let's see if he's got the stuff and what he can do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds in the middleweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and the proud sponsors by Installations, Think Green Partners, Synergy Direct, and Triple Solar. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your timekeeper at the bell, Brett Bowles, and the third man in charge of the action in the ring, referee Reese Carter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the burgundy and light blue. His official weight of 11 stones and 4 pounds. He has a record of 12 fights, 8 losses, 1 draw, 3 wins, and 1 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Belfast, Northern Ireland, United Kingdom, Edgar Kemsky. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the white and gold. His official weight of 11 stones and 6 pounds. And tonight, he is making his professional debut. Hailing from Yaleville, Somerset, United Kingdom. Introducing Brentwood.
Well, Brad Axe is a near neighbour of mine. He operates out of the Fire College at Moreton in Marsh. By the looks of him, he doesn't spend as much time in the excellent local chippy as I do. He's in fantastic shape for the start of his professional boxing career. But it starts with a wild right hand that he has to ship, and the aggressive character Edgar Kemsky is going to try and ask him a few questions tonight. Another right hand gets through. And to say he's a character, Kemsky, is an understatement. He's a bull of a man.
And he fancies this, doesn't he? You can see it. He's in with a debutant. He's probably seen the kit. He's seen the tickets he sold. He's standing in the away corner looking at that and just thinking, you know what, tonight I'm going to give this a crack and see what happens.
You know, your very first pro fight, and then it's very different now for amateurs who do box without head guards. But I remember for me, the very first time you take your top off, you take your head guard off, you feel very exposed. And if you're in there with someone who just is happy to let the lever go, flying at you, it can be daunting in that first round. So credit to the Axeman here. You know, it was an exhilarating first round of pro boxing for him, but he settled into this fight well now. Found a range with the long shots, landed a good right hand there. Sort of kept Kemsky sort of in his place, shall we say, a little bit now. He's become a little bit more predictable and easier to read.
Johnny Clark ringside, wiping the beads of sweat off his brow and thinking, did you not read the memo, pal, to Kemsky? But Brad Axe has ridden those bumps in the road through the first minute or so.
Another thing about the pro debut as well, I always think, is that he's had a good number of amateur fights. He's boxed at a decent level. I saw him in an NAC quarter-final a couple of years ago, so that's a good level to get to. In amateur boxing at a decent level, people don't fight like this. The bell goes and this guy's just rushed him and just let his hands go from all sorts of angles, and that is not what your opponent is supposed to do, if that makes sense. So that takes a bit of adapting to.
Absolutely. You train and prepare for lots of scenarios, but this isn't necessarily one of them. Letting his hands go now, Axe. Again, he was clipped by one little shot. Oh, that was a bit naughty. He just dipped in with the head there, Kemsky, whether that was intentional or not. So Brad Axe has just got to be on high alert here. Kept his composure though, got through with a nice right hand there. That was a testing start.
It was, and some decent shots got through there from Kemsky. Axe got him under control for periods of that round, but I wouldn't say he ever had him completely under control.
And I think also he'll have come in here tonight thinking, I'm going to win this, I'm supposed to win this, and suddenly it's not quite in the script you were expecting.
It's interesting when you get fighters from his background, though, from the armed forces, because I do think that they, generally speaking, have good composure, because if you think about it, there aren't many other professions that require you to be okay with the kinds of situations that pro boxers have to be okay with, but the armed forces and the emergency services are two others that spring to mind.
He's certainly used to being put under pressure, and he's used to remaining disciplined. And I suppose as a firefighter, problem solving as well. Calling on that side of his professional experience. This is a different profession entirely now as he moves into the second round of it as a boxer.
I mean, He's one of the most unconventional fighters you will see, Kemsky. Even down to he's almost purposely holding his guard in a way where it would be impossible to punch out of properly. And at this stage, I mean, Brad Axe would have likely been better suited if he'd had half a dozen pro fights already now, where he hasn't got that adrenaline pumping through his veins. It is his debut. Because a guy like this who's just essentially acting out of character, weird, wacky, crazy, would just be jamming him in the chest with the straight shots, keeping him honest, shall we say. And then when he starts to become reckless and be a bit silly, you can land one on the button.
It's kind of a bit like an old Harold Lloyd sketch or something, isn't it? This guy. I mean, it's a bit of a nightmare for Brad Axe to try and tame and control, in truth. So, what are the key steps, George? To, if not putting him in his box, then at least slightly taming the madness.
Well, as I say, if it hit him in the chest, be shooting that jab nice and hard and stiff in the chest, it'll land. You hit the gloves or the chest, and then from there, then you can start climbing the ladder, they used to say, trying to find the headshots, which essentially might get you that knockout win. But until that point, until you actually hurt the man in front of you, they can continue to be bizarre.
Better round though, by some way from Brad Axe. Really been thinking about all the possibilities and scenarios over the last 24, 48 hours. I don't think this was in any of them, Andy.
No, you wouldn't imagine so. He's done a decent job, actually, of just concentrating on the matter in hand and trying to shut out the noise, if you like, created by Kemsky. Because when you look at Kemsky, I mean, the shorts and the kit and the way he carries himself, he doesn't look too threatening, but physically he's actually in really pretty good shape. He's got a slim waist and a really wide back on him, so there's definitely some power there. And every now and again you see him just go to the corner, do that weird thing with his guard, plant his feet really, really wide, offer his head. And you just got to be slightly careful, because you know that he's wanting to get you to do something there, and then he'll have a go himself. But yeah, this is not like anything he will have been up against, maybe ever.
Mike Tyson used to do it during the introductions, didn't he? Hands together, palms almost towards himself, but then you knew there were heavy orthodox punches coming as soon as the first bell rang. I don't think the Matchmakers Guild are going to be looking against Kemsky and thinking that, right, we've got to have this fella on our books.
In fairness to him, though, as bizarre as his style is, he does give it a go. He does try and land.
Oh, lovely couple of body shots there from Axe. He is an absolute bulge of muscle and rock, isn't he, Kemsky? That one stoppage there, that came on his debut. That was back in 2012, so it's been a long time since he was kind of hurt or budged. But at least Brad Axe is sort of resting some kind of control on the pattern of the fight, if not necessarily on Kemsky himself.
Yeah, I mean, Axe maybe should come away from the headshots right now. Go to the body, and try and work the body.
Nice body shot again there from Axe. He whipped that right hand in low with his hands down, just waited for Kemsky to come in. Well, of all the lengths they could have gone to make Brad Axe look good tonight, this surely was bottom of the list. Another body shot coming in, swiping right hand from him there as well.
Just launching him behind that left hand there, Kemsky, and then just really running forwards. It is quite difficult to cope with this, and actually I think he's done pretty well overall.
Andy, I think Axe has done as well as he could in the second and third rounds. I really do, yeah. It is an absolute nightmare.
He's just putting a little bit too much into every shot, Axe. With a guy like this who's just being bizarre, just touch him a few times first and then whack him hard with that third or fourth shot. And again, go to the body. So while he's there, he can just be going touch, 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 and then whip, and then touch, 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 whip.
It's hard though, he's stooping down, he's turning away. I mean, he's not presenting much angle or body to attack. It's a tough assignment, but I think Axe is doing what he can. And he's winning, which is the important thing. I think at the moment it's got to be, let's just win and move on. Meanwhile, as you're watching the replays, Kemsky is pacing and circling, strutting around, talking to himself, poking his chest out, motioning to the sky. He's as mad as a box of frogs. He's been an absolute nightmare from start to finish for Brad Axe tonight. As we move into the fourth and final round. That was good from Axe, kind of counter chopping right hand.
He dips so low at the waist, he's actually really difficult to hit, isn't he, at times?
What are you supposed to do? Absolutely. He is a bona fide nightmare to try and box or fight. Nice right hand there from Kemsky. I'll tell you what tonight has been for Kemsky. Fantastic audition for a Guy Ritchie film. I'm almost speechless. I really am. I feel for Brad Axe. I really feel for him. You've been building up to this. You've been looking forward to it. You've been telling everyone what you're going to do, telling them how you've been looking in the gym, and then you're presented with this proposition and this fella. I mean, I really feel for him.
I'm sure he'll be crying out for a rematch in a couple of bouts' time. And once he's got a little bit more experience, a little bit more know-how, a little bit less pressure on him, he'll want to do an absolute number on Kemsky, who has made it entertaining in his own way. to say the least.
But he's stuck to the task here, hasn't he, Axe? He hasn't been distracted by this. He hasn't allowed himself to get frustrated and despondent and irritated by it. He's just boxed.
Yeah.
It's not been the easiest thing in the world to do that, but he's done it because, as I say, he's got decent composure. He's worked hard for this. And as you said, Alex, as you're gearing up for this pro debut and you sold tickets and all of that kind of stuff, you can get it into your head that you're a sense of entitlement can creep in if you're not careful, and you feel like your opponent on your debut should just cooperate. And Kemsky is not a cooperative guy, is he? Let's put it that way.
No, he's not. He's not. But I mean, he's not going to be asked back, is he? Let's be absolutely brutal and honest about it. He is not going to be asked back. But as Andy said, and I think that the important word here is, and for the first time in his career, Brad Axe has had to be professional, and that's what he was. For the first time in his life, he is a professional boxer, and that's what he had to be tonight. He had to behave and act professionally, and that's exactly what he did. A fair play to him in the circumstances. Anyway, you just want to win. Let's hear that for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Reese Carter scores the bout 40-36. And your winner, Brad Axe!
He can afford a smile now, Brad Axe. He can afford a smile now because he's won it. All the build-up, all the anticipation. Because everything's worth it now as you get your hand raised and your professional debut ends in victory. And there's a kind of wry look on his face as well, as if to say, I know what it was, I know what I went through. And he's motioning to Johnny Clark to kind of describe what he was up against there tonight. There's the first for the mantelpiece, and always a special night, George, isn't it? First pro outing, pro debut.
Absolutely. And I went the distance on my pro debut, and I was bitterly disappointed. But everyone will be telling him what a fantastic experience we've had here tonight, and that was, I wouldn't say a banana skinning, but yes, in some ways, because he's in there with someone who is tricky. It's not going to be a straightforward knockover job. Someone who is forcing him to stay switched on, and to his credit, he done it. Shutout winner.
Kemsky was a nightmare, but Brad Axe didn't let it turn into a nightmare. He's now speaking to Ali.
Brad, a successful professional debut, a very tricky opponent. You're probably not going to get a more tricky, unorthodox opponent than that. Just how did you prepare for an opponent like that?
I think for a debut we sort of prepared for anyone really, just working on things we worked on in the gym, and the opponent changed last minute, and the big game plan was the same really, but we knew he was going to be tricky, but he was, as everyone's seen, he was very tricky, but got the job done, got the rounds in. Moving forward, we want to go up to a 6 rounder, so it's good to get the rounds in instead of getting in there, blasting them out. Would have been good for a little knockout reel to start, but yeah, it was good to get in, get the rounds in, and we sit down with my manager and my coach now and discuss what's next. But
now you are co-main tonight for your professional debut. Was there any nerves going into that tonight?
There's always the fight nerves that happen pre-fight, especially building up in the day, chilling out in the hotel and stuff. But out there, when I was waiting for a minute, I felt less nervous than ever. I just really told myself going into my debut that I wanted to embrace every moment, and walking down there with everyone screaming my name was what I've dreamt of for years, so it was there's only one.
We do
just thank you so much for everyone coming, and it was class, the support, and it made it easier. When the rounds were getting tough and I was getting a little bit frustrated myself, I knew I had to finish strong, so yeah.
It was a great performance. Welcome to the professional ranks.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Just thank you to my manager, my coach, and my team here today. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you, and thank you to all the Axe gang. Appreciate it.